Okay, so let's talk about Pinterest. Pinterest is probably one of my most used decorating tools. In getting to know many of you and working with you directly in my one-on-one style sessions, I noticed that some of my clients who struggle with even really understanding their style, which does take time, I totally get it, is that they don't tend to use Pinterest. They don't have a Pinterest board. They don't really go on there a lot. And I think if you add Pinterest to your regimen, you really can actually increase your knowledge and understanding of interior design a lot faster. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Also, I have a bit of good news. I just got back from the upholsterer this morning. I went to go check on my swivel chair and drop off some additional fabric, and the base has now been upholstered. It looks so beautiful. I am so happy that I chose this amber colored velvet. I think it looks so rich and gorgeous and has a little bit of sheen. So I knew that I wanted to have him make 2 pillow covers in the same amber colored velvet. And I actually wanted to drop off that beautiful silk velvet chevron that I got a couple of videos back to do an accent pillow to go on the chair. Now, a lot of you guys love that fabric as well, and we were going to do it on this swivel chair behind me, but unfortunately I went back to the fabric showroom and they didn't have any more left. But when I was there, I also found another piece of mohair violet, and I only paid $1 for it, guys. So that should be ready in a couple of weeks, and I'm so excited, and I hope you guys love it too. Let me know in the comments what you think. So far, I think it looks absolutely fabulous. Okay, so here is my Pinterest board. I will link my Pinterest board in the description of this video. Go ahead and follow me because I've spent years curating this board. So there's a lot of really great inspiration on here as a place to start. It actually does take a while of curating your boards in order for the suggestions to be very relevant to you, or because there's a lot of cheesy stuff on here too. So this one's a good place to start. You can pin anything from my board, and you can even see all the style quiz results here. That's a really great place to start. If the style quiz is free, you can take that as well. Will be linked below. So the first purpose of a Pinterest board that's just super useful is just it's one central location to collect all of your ideas and your links, okay? This is useful because when you see something, maybe you come across a rug or a light fixture or a lamp, you don't want to forget it, right? And you don't want to save all this stuff on your phone. Pinterest boards are that place for you just to pin all of your ideas. And when you're an interior designer and you're working for clients, you are sourcing hundreds of items. You are considering hundreds of things. So I made up a board and it's called Dallas Apartment. For this board, I just put every idea I have for this apartment. This is where you're going to just pin things that you like, pin things that you're excited about, pin things that you might want to buy. You're going to start to notice what are the commonalities. What are the things that I keep seeing in this board? Because that is going to tell you about your style. So a lot of these first examples that you're going to see of things that I was considering for my apartment already have a commonality. It's more modern. We kind of see a bunch of velvet upholstery, so we know we're going to like that. We see white tables, we see white pillows, we see modern style lighting, jewel tone sofas. So right there, I've already identified 5 things that are telling me this is the direction that you need to go in your home, okay? I was going through a phase here where I kept noticing in a lot of the images that I loved, these kind of modernist contemporary stools in these fun lavender colors. And now, if you'll notice in my last video, I have done a cubist sculpture in a lilac color. I didn't actually make that copying this, but this idea was like already in my subconscious, and I already kind of knew I was like attracted to that shape, and then it all just kind of came together. I'm also really obsessed with these like Art Deco cabinets here. I learned about this designer when I was working for the French Art Deco company in West Hollywood. I want you to use aspirational images as your inspiration because it's going to make you more creative. I'm going to show you another example next of that. And it's going to prevent you from copying so you can truly tap into your style. When I'm going thrifting, when I'm going to vintage shops, when I'm looking around, I am looking for something like this. A lot of these things I have found, and I wasn't literally trying to, I was actually trying to find him. I think this is so elegant. It's like this terracotta, French terracotta bust. Anyway, I am replicating all of these things that I have in this board but I'm finding the ones that are available to me that are in my budget that I really love. So I was just working with my client the other day in a style session. She did a really good job decorating her space. She has like a gold light fixtures, brass, really pretty in every single room. Beautiful hand glazed white ceramic tile in the bathroom. She's going to bring that in the kitchen. It's like creams and neutrals and sizzles and organic, but there's one room in her home that she just couldn't figure out because she was stuck with a rug that was a great deal, that was pretty, but not really her style. Okay. I was like, we agreed, get rid of it. And she told me, she said, you know what, Baina, I really don't want to say this. I'm like scared to tell you this, but I kind of want a green velvet sofa, but there's no way it could work. I was like, yes to the green velvet sofa. Cause I'm like, no, that can be totally neutral. So here's what I did. And I put in green velvet sofa. This is so much more effective than going to Google. Okay. And all of a sudden you get some search results. Okay. Don't worry if you feel insecure about design. Don't worry if you feel like you can't figure it out. Don't worry if you don't know which one to buy. Don't worry if it's too expensive. Okay. All your job to do right now is to click on and save anything that you find attractive, because that's going to tell you which direction to go. So very, very quickly, actually, I knew, okay, that I saw this one and I said, yep, this is the one. And she was like, oh my God, I love that. The moss color, so elegant, sophisticated, subdued. That's what we pinned. She loved it. She's on the same page. That's the start of the project. Okay. It's going to inform you of your style. Okay. So let's say you were looking through here and the thing that you were attracted to was this. Okay. And you pin that. That's taking you in a whole different direction. Okay. Which is totally fine. Let's say you like that. That's a whole different direction. Pin 10 things. You're going to start seeing a common theme, and that is the direction that you're going to go. You don't even have to worry about naming your style or whatever it's going to be. Here's the second tip. If you see something and it's like super outside of your budget, or you're not sure, you just see it and you want to see more, all you do is push down and it will automatically have all of these other suggestions similar to that other pin. I mean, sometimes they're wildly outside of it, but this is literally what I just do for all of my clients, for myself, and allowing you to find not only the look that you like, but you're learning. Maybe you didn't know this was called the Mario Bellini sofa, which, by the way, is a very popular sofa right now. So I worked with another client who said, okay, I want to do wall paneling. I had in my head already an idea when I saw her pictures and stuff, but you can go into wall paneling. And then you can just look through all the different ideas, all the different ways that people use wall paneling. And your only job right now is to just pin things that you think are cool. Like, that's pretty. Okay, I like that. It helps you whittle down an idea. So you're not just blankly trying to come up with the perfect solution, starting from nothing. Your inspiration really is the start of your project. So what do we have here? We have an image of the designer, Carolina von Humboldt. This is on wearedore.com. And I'm obsessed with this. So let's break down all the elements that kind of make up this image that are ideas and things you want to think about when you are sourcing furniture and putting things together. Okay. So we're seeing here, there's a gold ornate, beautiful mirror that's kind of antique-y and old. Okay. And then it's paired with something super streamlined and clean. It's actually in the same material, but it comes off as a different like level. So we're doing almost like a tone on tone, right? Two different golds, but one is more ornate, so it looks a little bit more dark. Then we're doing the sleekness, so antique and modern. That's one of my favorite things I always respond to. I personally have this lamp. It's actually just in a gunmetal. We're exploring actually a tighter color palette here. And the colors are complementary. They're not opposites. That is very similar actually to what I organically have already done. I just saw this image the other day, but I feel like there's so many similarities between what I'm doing. That's why it makes so much sense. Next is the glamour. We're seeing the velvet. We're seeing the shiny modern gold, and then we're seeing more of an aged gold. And then we're seeing this kind of, I don't know if that's like a laminate or a stone, or I'm not sure what material. I'm sure it's rich as hell and amazing. We're seeing that. So I could know that, okay, I'm really responding to this color. Probably want to go with this kind of a color scheme. I probably want to have these kind of materials. The contrast, I kind of want to go with these kind of shapes. I would have never thought to do these chairs, but I just love how The chairs also have that linear, delicate, yet kind of strong feeling, and they mirror what's happening in the floor lamps. Look at the pillows on the sofa. There's a little flange. That's when you take it's either a very tiny cord wrapped with fabric, or there's no cord in it and it's just a piece of fabric pressed together, maybe like a 1/4 inch flange, 1/8 inch flange. But look at that tiny little detail of that dark. Looks like a mahogany. It varies so closely to those dining chairs. And see how that ties those two things together. That could be another element that you just get inspired by, or see, or have an idea, how can I make this sofa look a little bit more dynamic, because if it was all kind of just solid, it would be perfectly okay. But I think just that tiny little flange, it sort of ties it together and adds that little bit of delicate elegance. Let's say you were thinking about paint colors and you were looking through all of your images that you had in your Pinterest board. This white is a more of a grade white, kind of neutral, actually. It's chalky, right? That might be the direction to go. You're becoming the designer. You're studying details, and you want to do this with rooms that really, really excite you, and you will learn a lot, and you will take those characteristics and implement them into your designs. They will at least be in your brain. They will be in your subconscious. And then when you see things, then this is the key in a thrift store or a vintage store, which can be so overwhelming because it's like, who knows? It all sort of like crap. But when you identify, when you see that one torchère floor lamp, you'll have seen it before and you can feel confident to buy it. Next thing is going to be finding a rug. That's been an absolute challenge for me. And briefly, I'm just racking my brain. It's really hard to find this rug that's going to tie everything together. But I went the other day to explore my Parisian style interiors board. And I said, look, I don't know what rug to get. Okay. I've looked everywhere. And I said, what do the Parisian girls do? Cause like I have my own style, but this is still the style I most closely, identify with. And so after going through the Pinterest board here of Parisian style interiors, I noticed there's like 3 different rugs they have. They either have no rug. They either have like a shaggy Moroccan rug that's usually not huge. Okay. Or they have a hide rug. Did I say that? Or like a tone on tone, something just almost like no pattern, really simple, like a woven wool, maybe a subtle pattern, a texture. So I've thought about that again. I'm like, maybe I should do the Moroccan rug, whatever. So that's what you do when you're trying to figure out what you should do. Take it step by step, take it room by room, take it piece by piece, go for your dream things. Don't be afraid. And I hope that was helpful. I hope that was a good video, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Put all your comments below if I missed anything. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.